Welcome back, everybody. Today we will be discussing the Jordan 1 Volt Gold. Specifically, we will be discussing some release info, how to cop, and of course, some resale predictions at the end of the video. The Jordan 1 Volt Gold will be releasing on January 9th. Retail will be $170 for men's and $130 for grade school pairs. Stock between all sizes from men to grade school combined worldwide is over 110,000 pairs, which is just around what we saw for a couple of the more recent Jordan 1 high releases. Regarding resale, we will cover that towards the end of the video again, as always, for all sizes, and I'll just let you know now, it's definitely not amazing, but that's not to say there isn't money to be made. You'll see what I'm talking about. With the release info out of the way though, let's jump into how to cop these Jordan 1 Volt Golds. Specifically for this how to cop, we'll be going in chronological order along with exactly how to efficiently manage your time and set up for this drop with maximum efficiency, since a lot will be going on at once at certain times. Prior to discussing the first come first serve online drops though, make sure to follow my Twitter, KeithAdam10, and personals for you for any urgent updates on these in case exclusive access comes up, for example, or any potential restocks, etc. And also please make sure that you don't forget to sign up for the Flex app reservation. This is one of the best ways to get pairs. Also, aside from the initial reservation, be ready for there to be potential reservations for the leftover pairs. They recently started doing this mainly due to COVID. I'm sure not every single location may be up to date yet, but just to be safe, I would suggest calling your local Foot Locker, Foot Action, and Champs just to confirm if they will be using this procedure for the leftover pairs too. Now, moving on to the online first come first serve sites, we'll be going in chronological order, starting with the US sites, then we'll discuss the Europe sites after. One thing I want to state before we get into the resale predictions though, or anything like that, for men's sizes, I would focus on the sites with free shipping only, mainly for people who do have tax in their state, while the main focus should still be on grade school pairs for everyone, especially for those sites that do charge shipping. We'll discuss that at the end of the video more in depth though. Kicking it off with 8 a.m. Eastern time, we should be seeing Undefeated drop at this time. They do not have free shipping. Before this time, make sure you are signed into your Undefeated account if you are going for them, of course, as it is required for this site when checking out. Be ready to solve a checkpoint captcha as well. And lastly, just a disclaimer that this is a Shopify site, meaning that stock will be very low and it's likely going to be difficult to cop. Also, just to clarify, I will be mentioning sites that do have free shipping versus sites that don't have free shipping, since I think that's pretty important for this product specifically, especially for those of you who do have tax in your state. Moving on to 9 a.m. Eastern time, we may potentially be seeing two Shopify sites drop, neither of which have free shipping. These would be Ama Miniere and APB Store, just because sometimes they do drop together at this time, and if not, they will drop at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and at that point, I would not suggest placing focus on these sites, as there are other better opportunities at 10 a.m. Eastern time. However, if they do hypothetically drop at 9 a.m., since there's nothing else to focus on at this time, might as well give it a shot. Same as Undefeated, expect a checkpoint captcha, but no account is required here. Make sure you do set up Chrome autofill at the very least. Now, moving on to 10 a.m. Eastern time, this is where the actual fun begins. Since there is a lot to focus on, I'm going to guide you and suggest to how to efficiently manage your time here. First, I would suggest going for Hibbett at exactly 10 a.m. Eastern time, since Hibbett will sell out quickly. Hibbett also does so happen to have free shipping and free returns. Both men and grade school pages are already loaded. Just go to the launches and click on coming soon to find it. And of course, I will tweet out the site list on my Twitter, KeithAdam10, and personals for you as well, so be sure you're following there. My biggest advice when going for Hibbett is to use Apple Pay on your mobile device for an efficient checkout. Or, as an alternative, you can also choose one or two Shopify sites to focus on at exactly 10 a.m. Eastern time, since those will sell out the quickest. If I had to choose two for you guys, I would suggest Jimmy Jazz and DTLR, since they do get pretty high stock, and they do have a checkpoint as well. Otherwise, I just solely focus on Hibbett. Shop Nice Kicks and Shoe Palace do get good stock as well, and I normally do suggest going for them. However, when it comes to a low margin product like this, I wouldn't suggest focusing there, since they do charge very high shipping rates, normally around $30, which absolutely sucks. If you're in a group that does send Kith early links, you can go for Kith as well, since that does give you a slight edge, but keep in mind, Kith does charge shipping, not quite as much as the $30 shipping on Shoe Palace and Shop Nice Kicks though. I have no idea why they charge that much. Now, right after that drop is over, or even while you're waiting in line in the Shopify queues, I want you guys to enter in as many sneakers accounts into the drop as possible until around 10:03 a.m. Eastern time. This is going to be your #1 chance by far for copying these, and not only that, but they do also have free shipping just like Hibbett, and they also do have free returns, so there's no risk at all here. Absolutely the best site to go for. Of course, you can't go wrong with Nike sneakers. Not only is the most stock allocated to Nike by a significant amount, but they also have been making it more difficult for botters recently. But now, what's the most efficient way to cop off of Nike sneakers manually? Well, this drop is going to be a Leo drop. Leo drops essentially look very similar to a first come first serve, but they're actually just a 2 to 3 minute draw in disguise. Leo stands for let everyone order. But it's not quite that simple either. I actually recently just made a full video on this, which I highly suggest watching, where I go really in depth into this. And if you guys do need to make more accounts, remember that Nike does require SMS verification, and you can't use the same number twice, unfortunately, so you will have to ask a friend of yours to use their phone number and ask them for the verification code. However, if you rather not bother your friends, or you just want a significant amount of pre-verified Nike sneakers accounts, feel free to check out my site TAR. Link is in the description for pre-verified Nike sneakers accounts. We have been out of stock for a little while, unfortunately, and it keeps going really fast whenever we do restock, but I will be restocking again before the drop, most likely, perhaps even by the time you're watching this video, so just check out the site whenever you do have a moment. After sneakers, it will be around 10:04 a.m. Eastern Time to 10:05 a.m. Eastern Time. At this point, you'll want to shift your focus to foot sites and periodically checking Finish Line, JD Sports, and Snipes to see if you have passed the queues. Make sure you set up the tabs for these sites beforehand. You should set them up as soon as you see my account tweet out the links. This way, they're already ready to go and waiting in queue after Nike sneakers. The key to copying on foot sites, which is Foot Locker, Kids Foot Locker, Foot Action, Eastbay, and Champs, is persistency, not exactly speed. I've seen people cop on foot sites as late as 45 minutes into the drop. You really just can't give up here. You have to keep on clicking add to cart links over and over again until it finally carts. They're really terrible sites. As for Finish Line and JD Sports and Snipes, as you're trying to cart on foot sites, just periodically keep checking your tabs on them to see if you have passed queue. When you do pass queue, it's pretty self-explanatory from there. Just try to add to cart and check out. Shipping is normally free for all of these sites that I just did mention, other than Snipe. We'll conclude it for the US sites. Now moving on to the Europe sites, all of which do not have free shipping and do have slightly higher retails in Europe, unfortunately. So similar to what I mentioned regarding the US sites, because of the lower margin on this pair, you should just be focusing on grade school pairs, especially because retail is slightly higher in Europe. The only site that does free shipping here would be Nike sneakers. Although most Europe retailers still do wrap, it is still extremely likely that both Soulbox and Slam Jam will be dropping at random times between 3 a.m. Eastern Time to 6 a.m. Eastern Time, or 9 a.m. CET to 12 p.m. CET, I should say. If you have access to a Soulbox monitor, you have a very good chance of copying manually here. If not, I would suggest following more sneakers or personals for you on Twitter. I would also suggest making accounts beforehand. Best drop for Europe would definitely be Nike sneakers at 9 a.m. CET. It will also be a Leo drop, let everyone order. Of course, on top of that, not only it being your best chance, they do have free shipping too, and free returns, of course. Snipes will also be dropping, but expected to be very difficult there. Same for Foot Locker, but Foot Locker will be a queue. Try to use multiple Chrome users to pass the queue here. Then Offspring may also potentially drop. For Offspring, I would suggest enabling post notifications for their Instagram if you don't have access to a monitor. They're relatively fast at sending it out when it is live. That will be it for the how to cop portion of this guide. Now with the how to cop out of the way though, let's move on to resale prediction. Regarding resale predictions, now unfortunately, as I was implying earlier, I'm not expecting anything too great for these. Stock isn't anything abnormally low, and demand isn't that high, unfortunately. However, that's not to say there isn't still some money to be made, although it's not that great, of course. If you do have no tax in your state, you should be able to make a little bit of lunch money on the men's pairs with a subpar margin. However, whether you have tax or not, you should still be able to make a little bit of profit off of the grade school pairs. The margin definitely won't be the best, but it won't be too bad since retail is very low at $130, especially from the sites with free shipping that we discussed. I'll be going for men's pairs on sites with free shipping since I do have no tax where I'm shipping to, and I'll be going for grade school pairs across all sites because again, I have no tax anyway. Again, I'm not expecting a very good margin on these, but small lunch money does add up, and I'll definitely take that considering January isn't exactly the most packed month. It's like this every single year, guys. But anyway, that will conclude it for today. Feel free to leave a like if you did enjoy or you perhaps learned a thing or two. Also, subscribe and enable post notifications just to stay 100% updated on all hyped releases. Also, feel free to check out the links in the description for reliable, fast, residential proxies and pre-verified Nike sneakers accounts. I will be restocking them very soon. Last but not least, make sure to follow KeithAdam10 and personals for you, just so you guys always stay up to date on urgent info like I was discussing today. With that, I'll see you guys later. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and good luck on this drop.